We're continuing our post-Super Tuesday analysis. Let's talk about California. I live in San Diego, so we've been focused on California a lot here on my local radio show. And we got to focus on California because California is ridiculous, as always, and huge, unfortunately, and still part of America, unfortunately. So 415 delegates are at play here. 415. It's a lot. Virginia was also yesterday. That was was North Carolina. North Carolina is 120 delegates, and Virginia was 99. And then it jumped up. Texas was like 230 or something, and then California 415. Okay, so way more than the other states. So of the 415 delegates, 144 of them are awarded to the statewide winners. If Bloomberg, whether he dropped out, doesn't matter. Yesterday still happened. If Bloomberg gets above 15% of the vote, and right now he's at 14.9% statewide. If he gets above 15, then he gets a share of those 144 delegates. If he stays below 15%, then all of those 144 will be divided up proportionally between Sanders and Biden. It could mean Sanders gets as much as 100 of those delegates, and Biden gets 44. That's a huge delegate advantage. It's a 54 delegate advantage just on that one portion. That 54 delegate advantage for Biden is more than any single state advantage that Biden won yesterday. And that's only a part of the delegates awarded from California. Does that make sense? So Virginia has 99 delegates. Biden crushed Sanders in Virginia, 53-23. That's a huge dominating victory in Virginia. But Biden only got 35 more delegates than Sanders because they're awarded proportionally and other different factors as well. But Biden got 35 more delegates than Sanders. So he only, in Virginia, even though he crushed Sanders, Biden only increased his lead by 35 delegates. Biden, again, crushed Sanders in South Carolina. That was the big momentum shifter for Biden. But he got 39 delegates. Sanders got 15. So Biden only increased his delegate lead by 24. A lot, but not California numbers, not 100 or not 50. If Bloomberg stays below 15%, then Bloomberg stays below 50%, then Sanders can get over 50 more delegates than Biden just on the statewide popular vote category of California's delegates. That's a huge chunk. So the rest of the delegates, 271, those are awarded based on who wins each congressional district in California. California has 53 different congressional districts, and each one is awarded between 4 or 7 delegates, depending on who gets the most votes. It's the same thing as statewide, just on each little congressional district. So if you get above 15% in each congressional district, you get at least 1 delegate. So I looked at the map of California. Biden won a handful of counties. I was looking at county maps, so that's probably pretty close to the congressional maps. But if you look at the counties, Biden won like 5. Don't quote me on that, but like ballpark, just like a handful of counties, which means Bernie is going to win almost all of those congressional districts and get a vast majority of those 271 delegates. So Bernie, really all yesterday mattered was California when it comes to delegate counts, which is, gosh, you would think all that would really matter, but the media wants to make these big storylines, right, about momentum and all this stuff. We'll talk about that coming up in the last segment, momentum, bandwagon voters, stuff like that. But if you're just looking at delegates, California is all that mattered yesterday, and Bernie did amazing in California if you're a Bernie fan. One quick thing to know, California takes forever to count their votes. It'll take about a week. And there's a lot of reasons for that we don't really need to go into now, other than California's a super corrupt, inept state. But again, this is sort of expectations as well. So in Iowa, we expected the results instantly, and it took a week. And everyone's like, well, Iowa's the worst. In California, we know it takes a week. So no one's really freaking out about our broken election process, right? But things change. Things change over this week. In the 2016 Democratic primary in California, by 2 a.m. Eastern on election night, or primary night, Clinton was up on Sanders by 21 points. And by the end of the week, she ended up winning only by 7. So Clinton lost 14 points over the week of just counting votes that people drop off the day of, or bring them to the wrong polling station, or go to the wrong polling station. And you'd be surprised, it takes a long time to count the ballots from dead people. longer than you think it would. So anyway, so objectively looking at results from last night, and that's how we're going to do it moving on, objectively. Sanders crushed California, and that's what matters. Slater Crusaders, thanks for watching the first on YouTube. If you want more, like, subscribe. We got plenty.